Howdy folks, and welcome back to Sailing Slow Motion. So I did something yesterday that I did not think was worth videoing, and I should have had the camera out. I'm gonna explain it to you and then we're gonna fix it. So my boat was moored right here on this slip, and I was going to move it down about 4 or 5 slips down here, and the wind was blowing. We had a good crosswind. It was blowing over towards the house over there. I untied the ropes, had the motor running, hopped in, put it in reverse, backed up. And when I backed up, I noticed I didn't have a lot of steerage. Like I didn't feel like I had the power, and the boat turned this way and spun all the way around facing that house. And then I had so much trouble getting enough power to turn it. I almost hit their seawall. And then when I came in, I had like no power at all, and I couldn't get to the slip I'm supposed to go to, and I ended up at the next spot open down the line. So what I'm pretty sure happened is my prop is fouled with barnacles. So it just wasn't able to push that water. So what I had to do was get it down here. Luckily, I was able to get into the spot that I got into, but it's not my spot, my new spot. So I got to dive down there and fix it. So I'm gonna take you on a quick little dive in this nasty, murky water. This is the slip that I was supposed to go into, but I could not come around fast enough to get there. It was crazy. I had full throttle on that motor and it wasn't happening. So, but luckily this spot right here was open, and I was able to get slow motion into here. And if I didn't make it into this spot, my next opening was into the haul out slip, which would have been almost my last resort. So, but we're in here and we are going to suit up and dive into this nasty murky water. So we're gonna hookah dive. So we got our hookah gear, we got our nitrox because we're going so deep. But this water is really bad. Like the visibility is gonna be next to nothing. So we're just gonna go in there kind of blind and find the prop and clean it off. And then once it's clean, get ourselves clean and then move the boat down. So that's the plan, and let's see how this turns out. All right, so got just over 3,000 PSI. So this hopefully this won't take maybe 10 minutes. But you know, I really thought moving the boat was going to be a very simple process. Like I didn't even break the camera. I was like, nobody's going to want to watch me move a boat 4 slips down. But if I would have videotaped this, oh my gosh, it was so bad. But so I'm going to get suited up. It's hot today. I don't know. It feels like 80s. I'm not sure if it is. It's right on that cusp of 80. But the sun's out. So, but this water's so gross. I'm going to put my headgear on. I'm going to go full everything because this stuff's nasty. And then we'll drop the ladder off the back of the boat because I don't want to climb all the way out to the rocks and try and climb out of here. So, yeah, that's the plan. Okay, I want to say thank you to my friend Bill for letting me borrow his nitrox bottle. So what I did was I secured it to the dock so that it can't slide off. It's tied around the nozzle here and around the bottle and then cleated. And then the hookah hose, I went ahead and wrapped it around there just so when I'm under here and I pull, it's pulling here on the cleat and not on the joint right there. And then did my little check on the air. It works. And then we got our hose nicely lined out so we can pull it smoothly into the water. So, all right, now I really am gonna get dressed. It's so hot, I really don't wanna put that gear on, but I'm gonna put it on quick and then I'm gonna get in the water. So I'm gonna put the camera in the waterproof case, so you probably won't be able to hear anything. I'll have to overlay music because it's so annoying, the echoey sound that comes off of it. So, all right, I'm gonna get ready. Okay, so I just put on my Lavacore. So I bought this for the Everglades Challenge, and it's really hard to get on, but it feels good. And then I got this covering my hips. I'm dressed for winter, but let's get ourselves in that water because this is so hot. while I was underwater, I couldn't see the camera lens, so I wasn't sure what it was picking up. But in these two images, you can see how fouled the forward side of the prop was and why it wasn't able to grab water and provide thrust. Looking at the prop and what little visibility we have, the barnacles are on the forward side of it, and nothing really on the aft side, just little tiny ones. So we're going to scrape all that stuff off and see if we can make a difference. I'm guessing it's just not able to grab the water and throw it with the barnacles on the front side. So either way, it's not as bad as I was hoping. Like, it seemed like a lot of prop was there to move the water, but I guess when your prop's that small, it doesn't take much to foul it, right? So let's get a scraper and get back to it. I've scraped off everything that I think I can get. There's a lot more than I initially thought, especially on the backside. But I'll go down and show you a comparison, even though the visibility is horrible. Maybe you could tell before and you'll be able to see the after. But grab my hair. So you can see it looks a little better. So now we gotta get out of this gear and then see if we can move the boat down to where it goes. So I'm over here just spraying out my Lavacore stuff, and this is the first time that I used it. I bought it for the Everglades Challenge because you had to have something along those lines for hypothermia and prevention. So I bought the Lavacore because the shark skin was a lot more expensive and they're supposed to be comparable. But I want to show you the inside of this stuff. Hopefully the camera picks it up, but it's almost like a fleece lined liner. It's really comfortable. And so they say it's neutrally buoyant, and when I was in the water, my booties are neoprene, right? So my feet were wanting to float up. I had to really position it so when I was under the water, my feet were directly underneath me, because if I angled them, my feet would want to pop up either forward or backwards. So it was kind of awkward when I was down there. Luckily the water depth is more than 6 foot because I was perfectly vertical down there. So I do like the Lavacore. That was the first time I used it. It was really expensive, more than a wetsuit. Really total, probably not really that expensive when you think about it. Just more than like what I like to spend on a daily basis. But anyway, yeah. So that's my quick review on Lavacore. Not sponsored or anything, obviously. But yeah, I liked it. Oh yeah, as far as camera angles go, that's pretty good. Got you sitting in a rod holder right there. So what I got to do is turn on the water and the fuel, start the motor. I'm gonna let it warm up for a minute or two, and then tie up, run straight back, and then hopefully straight forward. The tide is high tide, so we're almost at the slack. But let me spin you around here. So we should be able to go straight back. And we're going into the slip that's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots over. So as long as we have grab on the water and the boat moves, then we'll be good. The wind's pretty calm, you know, it's probably 5 to 10 blowing out, which that should work just fine. So, okay, we just fired up the motor. It's a new beta 16. I put it in last year, and it's running pretty good. And then some water spitting out. When I installed the beta, I wish I had the camera then, because I did it all pretty much by myself. My dad helped me a little bit, and my friend let me borrow his truck so I can go up to Georgia to pick it up. But I used the boom and had an electric winch, and a dolphin just came up. That was pretty cool. Let's see if it comes up again. Those dolphins are so camera shy. It rolled right there, like right there. But anyway, when I did the motor, I used a electric winch from Harbor Freight, and get the larger one. The small one that says it'll lift 1,000 pounds. Oh, it just rolled again over there. But the Harbor Freight one that says it'll lift 1,000, it doesn't. So you need to get the 2,000, the 1 ton one, or 1.5 ton, whatever it is. But I just attached here onto the boom, and then was able to pull it out with a lot of maneuvering and twisting. But it came out, and then just brought the boom over to the side, lowered it down, and then put the new one in. Took some modifications on the inside too. But anyway, it was a fun process. If you have questions about it, you know, ask. I can answer just about any of them, hopefully, because I spent several weeks getting the old motor out, the old Atomic 4 out, and putting the new motor in. So when I first started boating, I was always nervous about undocking and redocking, and now I'm still a little nervous about it, but you know, not like I was. Now I'm just hoping the dolphin doesn't come up underneath us. Before I go, I do want to just run it through the gears real quick. That's forward. It does look like it's pushing pretty good. We're at about 2,000 RPMs. I'm going to go push on the bow and just see what the resistance is. Yeah, that's way better. That's way better than it was. All right. Okay, now we just untie it. Parking the boat was super smooth, and sometimes it's a real mess. But the new motor, I think, is what really makes everything so nice. I'll do a quick show and tell of the motor. Move this one. All right. Ooh, look at that. It's beautiful. Trash in there. I have an ex-brother-in-law that has one arm, and he's really good at everything, single-handed. He's a carpenter and just do anything. I was so impressed with him. And then when I try and do it with holding the camera, not very good at all. All right, so water's off, fuel's off, battery's off. With the Morgans, here's something that a lot of people have comments on, I'm sure. So the bilge was super deep and I didn't like that. So I poured about 100 pounds of cement down there and filled that up. So if I change the dynamics of the boat, I don't know, but I just didn't like how deep it was. Like there was rusted wrenches down there, there was a tape measure down there, there's all kinds of just stuff that was crammed down in that little tiny crevice. And I also didn't like that if you grounded, there wasn't a lot of protection. It's just thin fiberglass down there. Well, it's not thin, but you know, it's just fiberglass. So I just wanted to beef that whole section up in the back. And I used 100 pounds concrete to do it. But it's the waterproofing concrete, like the good stuff. And hopefully, I mean, I haven't had any issues with it, but the love bugs are coming in. So I'm going to wrap this up, button up the boat, and get myself out of here. So thanks for joining me on this, what thankfully turned into a simple process. I really wish I filmed yesterday because the boat did not want to come out. I got so close to their wall over there. I was really nervous. And then I just had no power coming in, but luckily cleaned the barnacles off, fixed the boat. It reversed just fine and powered forward just fine. And we're in our spot where we were supposed to be. So, all right, thank you. Oh, I did find out about a couple more races. There's the Florida 111, then the Florida 120, which I might have talked about, and then the Texas 200. So a few more races coming up, or events, and those will be on the Wind Rider, and then I'll be taking this boat out a lot more here shortly. So, all right, thank you all.